Good morning, everybody. Good Friday. I wanted to come to LinkedIn this afternoon or this morning and talk a little bit about goals and strengths-based goals and how you can make sure that your goals really have the impact that you want them to over the course of the year. I know this is the time of year we get really excited about goals. I asked earlier in the week who had outcome goals and who had action goals, and it seems like most of us set an outcome goal. We say, I want to increase my sales. I want to change the way this event works. I want to change, I want to lose weight. I want to, all these sorts of things that are outcome-based goals. And then usually we come up with a list of actions. What are the specific steps that we are going to take to get there? Most goal setting stops there, and that is a great place to be, right? You need to know what are the actions that you're going to take to get to your goals. But how many of you have action steps on your list this year that have been on there before? Maybe even for several years. You've had the same action step. Every year you kind of recommit to it, but somehow it just usually doesn't happen. Those are the actions that I want to talk about today. When we look at those actions, I want you to look at your actions and go, which of these actions can I do with ease? Which one of these actions are going to come somewhat naturally to me? Am I going to enjoy doing? Am I going to be good at doing? Those action steps are great. Many of them, you're going to go, I need to do this, but it's not easy. I'm going to have to really push. I'm going to have to really hustle. I'm going to have to make myself do this. Before you go down that path, I just want to ask you to look at those actions through the lens of your strengths. So last week I had the opportunity to do some training with a team that I have worked with for over a year now. They all know their strengths. We've worked together on Clifton Strengths and several different topics over the last year and a half or so. And so we sat down and we looked at their goals. This is the process that I took them through that I'd like for you to consider. Take each one of those action steps, and the ones that do not come with ease or do not feel like that you will be really good at them or enjoy doing them, I want you to look at those actions and see, is there another action or set of actions that can get me the same outcome that uses my strengths better? So I'm going to give you an example. There was a woman in our training last week who, she's a salesperson. She needs to increase her sales, okay? One of the things she had written on her list was to make 10 phone calls every week. We talked about how she felt about this. It felt overwhelming. It felt yucky. It felt like something she was going to look at every week. Or I think it was 10 phone calls every day. Excuse me, I said that wrong. 10 phone calls every day. She's going to look at that every day and go, oh, I just have to do this. I don't even know who to call. I don't feel like it. I got to do it. We took a look at her strengths, and one of the things we realized is that in her top 5 strengths, all she had was relationship building and influencing strengths. All strengths that are really about people. You would think phone calls might be easy, but they weren't for her. So we started talking about what was easy for her. What she came to is she loves going to networking events. And when she goes to a networking event, it comes naturally to her to follow up with everybody she's met. Part of her problem with the 10 phone calls was not knowing who to call. So we flipped that action and changed it to where her new goal says, go to 2 networking events every week and follow up with every single person I meet. For her, for who she is, that goal will be much more motivating, much easier to achieve. And as a result, I won't be surprised when she tells me that she has added additional people to her follow-up list in addition to the people she met at the networking event, because she's got some momentum going there in making those phone calls. Now, if we were looking at somebody else who had a whole bunch of executing strengths, maybe they have achiever in there, looking at an action step that says make 10 phone calls a day is going to work great. Okay? So it is not that it's a bad action. It was not a great action for her, right? Now, she will, I almost guarantee it, make more phone calls with that action step on her list in a week than she ever would have with the previous action step. So that's what I want to ask you to look at today, is just consider your action steps, which ones are going to be the real stumbling blocks for you, the ones, and you know which ones they are. You know which ones are going to be painful and difficult, and you're going to have to force yourself to do, and see, is there another action step or a different way to look at this through the lens of my strengths that will really help me get there. This is one of the benefits of working with a team for a long time. And so if that is something that you're interested in, when I work with a team, one of the things we get to do is I get to know them and who they are and what they're looking for. I get to know their strengths really well. And then in addition to just intro strengths workshops, we can really dig into workshops about mindset, workshops about goals, workshops about sales, workshops about influence, and help them to really think through a lot of different areas of their business through the lens of strengths. So my invitation to you today is in the comments below, would you tell me about an action step that you know would be good if you could do it, but you're not sure it's going to come natural to you, and how you might change that? If you're not sure how, post it, and hopefully we can get some discussion going and maybe come up with some ideas for you. So I hope you all have a great Friday, and I hope that this little tip helps you make even more success out of your goals this year. Have a great day.